Yes, hello, how are you, my people? My apologies for the delayed uploads as usual. Things have been tight on my end, but I want to thank each one of you that has shared, that has liked, that has asked a friend to subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. You are the reason as to why we now have 500 subscribers. Okay, our target is to have 1,000 of them in the next 2 months. Okay, so I want to thank you so much that you have not only consumed the important information that we have constantly been sharing, but you have taken the initiative to invite a friend to like and share the page. Well, my name is Isaac Mugera and I am a senior agronomist. And I work with an entity it's called Agro and More, Agribusiness Developers Limited. At Agro and More, we supply you, our dear farmers, with genuine and quality inputs that you need for a successful crop while you're running down things in your garden. We also give you support, extension support in terms of extension services, field trainings. For those of you that have followed us on WhatsApp and our Facebook page, I know you have been getting several updates on our activities. In case you haven't, please do check out on Facebook, our Facebook page. It's called Agro and More Limited. And do like and follow us there. You will see what we are doing, what is happening, and how things are treating us, and how things, and what we are planning for you. Okay, you, our dear customers. Well, we also offer extension services, like I mentioned, but also do the part on marketing. I intend to shoot a video on marketing of ginger. There is a step we have taken. I know you will love it. It will be probably one of the next steps I will be sharing a video about. Well, today I am in Kamengo. This is our outlet. It's based in Kamengo town. The moment you are in Kamengo town, you will see us. We're out here waiting and serving our farmers. Today, being the dry season in our newly opened outlet, I choose to shoot from here because it is less busy and less noisy here. My target today, just if I may show you around in a second before I tell you what we're going to be looking at today, mainly I want to respond to all your concerns, questions that you have been raising in our previous videos, so you can get answers to them. Okay, just to show you where we are at. Okay, yeah, so like I mentioned, I want to respond to the questions. Please allow me to be seated today, okay? Yeah. I need to respond to all those questions that have been raised. And if in case you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to keep them coming in the comment section, okay? I will keep answering them like I have always been doing, okay? So, there's a gentleman called Norman. And Norman was, no, before Norman, somebody asked about how do we control rhizome rot? When your rhizomes start rotting, how do we control? Let's start from here. Why would the rhizomes rot? They would rot because you planted a young seed. If the ginger that you planted was young, chances are it will not come up well. It will obviously have to rot, just rot, because it doesn't have enough food reserves to produce a shoot or shoots to keep running. Another cause is planting infected rhizomes. What are infected rhizomes? If you buy rhizomes from a source that has been contaminated, or a crop that was not managed very well. When is a crop not managed well? In case somebody did not do a good job in their spray regimes to manage the pest, in case somebody did not do a good job in managing the disease, by the time the crop is harvested, it carries with it eggs of pests or insects, and also some traces of spores, maybe fungal spores that will later on come out into disease that you shall be struggling with. So in case you also see rotting, you may attribute it to insect or disease attack. Now, what is the other cause? The other probable cause of rotting is your spray regime. You may have gotten the right seed, but you have not managed the insects and the diseases very well. You need to be sure that you have applied the right insecticides at the right time, so we do not have cases of eggs hatching into larvae and then you have a lot of insect attack in our garden, because when the insects begin to access the rhizome in the ground, they bore into it and they eat into it, and then when it rains, a bit of water now soaks into it and then it brings about the whole rotting process. That is if your spray regimes are not very well laid out, is the word. And again, when I'm talking spray regimes, I want to emphasize that it covers your application of the insecticide and your application of the disease preventative or curative compound that you are using, whether you're organic or inorganic. Your regime matters most. Still around that point, I want to answer the question, how often should I spray my garden, my ginger garden or my vegetable garden? It will get us mixed up. Let me address that on its own. So the other reason as to why your rhizomes may rot is water. The water circulation in your soil. It's the very reason as to why we do not recommend planting ginger in a wetland, in an area that has stagnating water. Every time that area has stagnating water, your ginger will sprout, it will grow very well, but when it is about time for you to allow it to cure up, to age, I don't know, I think in wines it's called aging, but that time you allow it to stay in the ground to concentrate the pungency that is in it. That time that you allow it to stay in the soil to have the residue from the insecticide that you have applied, or the disease compounds that you have been applying to die down, to allow the product to be consumable by the final consumer. That period of time, which is normally 2 months or 3 months, if you have planted your ginger in a waterlogged area, water saturated area, in a wetland, it will rot. It will rot. You may have to improve your soil greatly by doing some taking some rudimentary measures of like trenches, allow the trenches so that water can drain away in the process of the ginger growing up. Now, right after that, allow me immediately address the question on how often should I spray my garden. This question is going to cut across, okay, for those of you that are in vegetable gardens and also those of you that are in ginger fields. Before we spray, it is important that we scout our gardens, okay? Scout to know if there is a disease. What kind of disease is it? Is it bacterial? Is it fungal? Is it viral disease? Before we spray, inspect your garden to know if it is a pest that is present. What kind of pest am I going to address that is in the garden? Is it a sucking? Is it a piercing? Is it a biting? Is it a pest I have dealt with before? Is it a new pest? Okay. When I last sprayed, did the treatment I apply work? Is it not working? Should I change? That is one. Those are some of the reasons as to why we scout our gardens. Scouting is may sound like a bit technical, but there's nothing technical about it. It's basically you waking up in the morning, and by the way, we do scouting early in the morning or late in the evening, because that is the time when we are able to tell if there are any insect attack on our gardens. So I'll say, early in the morning, you come and put on whatever protective gears you have to, so you can ably move into your field. So you move around the entire garden, okay? and be sure that you move around the entire garden. Identify anything strange that you may see. Okay, in case you identify some possibility of a disease coming up, right? The next time you are mixing treatment to apply in your garden, always start from that point that you observed during the scouting that has a problem. Okay, when we are scouting our gardens, it is also important that you check plant. If you sample the plant, check the leaves on the top, check the leaves underneath, check the stem. If possible, you could even check the roots. But the scouting should be done thorough. You may have to shake a few plants. Every time you shake them, you're going to see the insects flying away. And when they are flying away, it will tell you what level of infestation you are going to be dealing with. Okay? So, after you have done your scouting, then it should guide you on when next you should spray. It is the only way you can minimize your expenses. Otherwise, if you are constantly going to be spraying every day, all the time, say on a crammed schedule of, say you want to spray every after 5 days, at the end of the day, your cost of production is going to be very high because you have used a lot of farm inputs, which you would have avoided. Okay, so let us spray only when there is need. The other way you spray is if you are spraying to prevent. Okay, now if you are spraying to prevent, that then means you study the plant and also study the pest. Okay, and you understand that around this stage of my plant, there is a possibility that it is going to be I'm going to get an attack from this kind of pest. Okay, for those of you that are in tomatoes, you know that every time you are nearing fruit flowering and fruiting, you are likely going to be attacked by the tuta absoluta. It's a leaf miner. You know, if you are talking about the people in ginger, every time we are nearing 3 months there, normally attacks from the pests may advance. Okay? So if you are spraying to prevent, then you must also know what am I preventing against, and you don't just apply any compound randomly. I don't know if we are learning something, but again, I want to thank you, those of you that have subscribed to our channel. And I charge you, because this is beneficial to you, please ask a colleague or share this information out there, or do pass it down in your comment, appreciate, or you can like, or you can just send a hi or whatever, but we need to communicate to each other, so it also motivates the team that comes up with these videos. Well, okay, to continue, if my rhizome is rotting, what kind of treatment do I have to administer? There is no treatment. Okay, just get the water away, and once you have gotten the water away, make sure you have planted the right seed, and make sure you have dealt with the pest and the disease in the due course of production. That should be it. But as of healing wounds from rotting, there's no treatment. If you keep the crop longer in the soil when it has already showed the signs of rotting, it will all rot away. So don't risk harvest at the slightest sign. How often should we spray our garden? We have said after you have inspected, you should know when to spray. And also, I am saying, if you are spraying to prevent, just do one thing, know what you are preventing against, and then you design the treatment that can suit the prevention. Okay. Another gentleman was asking, is it a good idea to plant on ridges? Sorry, is it a good idea to plant on ridges? To plant ginger on ridges? Yes. It would be a very, very good idea to plant ginger on ridges. The advantages it comes with it is that it allows you pathways when you are working. Okay, I should have done this maybe in the field like this. Sorry, I don't have any other way, but you can use the furrows as pathways if you have put your crop on what? On the ridges. But also, putting the crop on ridges, it allows the crop access to moisture over a longer period of time than when it is exposed in unridged ground. The ridges will also help you to manage the weeds easily, because then we have concentrated our crop on the ridges, so the crop alone shall be on the ridges. Therefore, it will suffocate the weeds, and you know that on the ridges we only have the crop, and we don't have to worry about the weeds. Okay. Even when it comes to, I should have mentioned this earlier, but when you are growing your ginger in areas that do not receive sufficient amount of rain, or in dry areas, or areas that you are not sure of as of when the rains are going to come, especially now in this kind of changed climate, okay, where you are most likely going to water. If you have planted your crop on ridges, the ridges can withhold water for quite a longer period of time than if you had just placed your garden in an enriched kind of manner. So ridges are good, especially in this kind of changed climate. Put your crop on ridges. Use the furrows as your walkways going back and forth, okay, as you are removing or addressing anything. But the ridges should also help you manage the weeds better, because then you can easily pluck the weeds, and also the crop being concentrated on the ridges, it suppresses the weeds from growing. And then if it is watering and you're going to do flood irrigation, or maybe you have piped water that you want to move around, it's easy when you have the crop on ridges. I'm about to wind up with this clip, but before I do, I would like to answer just 2 more questions. Somebody was asking, is using dried banana leaves for mulching ginger a good idea? No, you cannot use dried banana leaves to mulch ginger. No. When we are planting ginger, if there is anything organic, any organic plant residues, any organic plant material that we use, it is coffee husks. Okay, and the coffee husks, we use them because they have the ability to keep moisture in the soil, to build a certain temperature into the soil that stirs up the sprouting of the shoots. Okay, if you are going to use poultry manure, it would also still work. It will cause about rapid growth of the crop, which will be a good thing, and the rhizome is going to expand and grow very fine. Just that the quality of the rhizome that comes out of an over-fertilized ground is not also as good. Okay, so the problem with the using banana leaves is that if you applied them everywhere, they are impermeable to water. So every time it rains, the water will not be able to penetrate into the soil. So you'll have created very, very terrible conditions that will not support plant growth, and it will not help your crop to grow. Why don't you put your contacts on these videos? And yes, they are very good. Our contacts are listed. They are in the description. Please do check them out. Okay. Because these are directly short videos, it's more raw data, okay, unedited, unscripted. I think that is what we would do. I would call it. But yeah, our contacts are there in the description, and they are also on all our media platforms in case you are interested in opening up a ginger field, in case your ginger garden is not doing well and you need to be assisted, in case you just want to venture into ginger first time, even if it is not ginger, vegetable, passion fruits, whatever, we are available. You are #1 consultant. Our offices are in MPG. Are you there and you'd like to enter into farming but you don't know where to start from? You are welcome to our offices. We are in MPG. We shall give you the best information you'd ever need to make a decision, and even beyond making a decision, support you to the very end that your dream or vision is achieved. Right, yeah, I have spoken a lot, and I know it's quite a long video, and I wouldn't want to keep you any longer. My name is Isaac. Once again, I'm a senior agronomist at Grano, and for all your farm input needs, for all your seeds, all your fertilizer, for everything that you need around farming, we are here and we are available to serve you, and please make good use of us. Thank you so much for watching this video. I request you that you invite a friend to watch the video if you have found it educative. Also, remember to like the video, because when you like it, other people will also get the opportunity to access it, and then they will watch it. Thank you so much for being good viewers. In case your question has not been answered, don't worry, I'll answer it in the next video, and we shall be looking at the business opportunities that are existent in this new changed climate. Because right as of now, yes, the climate has changed. We are receiving longer dry periods than we expect. We are receiving heavier rains than we expect, or in some places the rains are becoming scarce. And in all this, it turns out that there is several opportunities that we have to tap into if you are smart enough. You do realize that even if you were to go into maize growing, okay, at the moment it is going to fetch you very good money, because a kilogram of maize now has stayed at 1,500 and above for a constant period of time, and this has not been the case before. Before, a kilogram of maize was 600. Okay, now sweet potatoes have also become business, you know. And I don't know, have you tried thinking about how much money you could make out of growing cabbages? Before, people were not consuming them, but because a kilogram of beans is now 4,500, it has implications. People can no longer buy the 100 kilogram of beans. Instead, they buy 50, and they have to put cabbage to make it up. And so cabbage is also becoming very serious business. We'll be talking about these opportunities and how we can help each other to see how we can survive in this new normal. Well, I remain Isaac Mugera, and I thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I sign out. Isaac.